Hello, Kim Townsel here. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video will show a new experiment for a way to make one of my most favorite recipes, turkey chili. I'll use the ingredients that you see behind here. So let's get started. I'll use the items back here that you see. Pardon my mess. I went grocery shopping today, so I don't have everything quite all put up yet. These are the items that I purchased to make my turkey chili. I'm going to make it a little differently this time. I'm using 2 packages of the 3-pound ground turkey from Butterball. I will use the McCormick chili powder. It's what I used when my children were growing up, and I found a large container of that today at the stores. I was very happy about that. I'm using the 1-pound package of the small red beans because the ratio for the protein to the calories and the calcium and iron was higher on this than it was for the kidney beans. I like it spicy, so I'm using 7 jalapeno peppers, and I got 10 tomatoes to put into this. I'm expecting, when I did my math, to have a higher protein yield per calorie count than when I put extra beans or things like that in there. So we'll see. These are the accessory items I bought to go because I'm counting on a 10 container yield and thought maybe I would get 11 or 12. I put a half container of Chobani Greek non-fat yogurt when I prepare this item. I use that instead of sour cream. I generally put about 2 slices of the pepper jack cheese in there. I did not buy the lower fat pepper jack cheese because it was quite a bit more expensive than just the regular pepper jack cheese. So those are the items that will go into this. I purchased the 1-pound package of the small red beans. The container has 13 servings in it with 60 calories per serving. Each serving provides 7 grams of protein, 6% of the RDA for calcium, and 15% of the RDA for iron. And the real reason these are better than the kidney beans for me is because of the dietary fiber. It's 63% of the RDA for 1/4 of a cup dry. The Butterball fresh ground turkey. It is the 3-pound package. There are 12 servings per container at 230 calories per serving, 19 grams of protein for each serving, and 8% of the RDA for iron. The Chobani Greek yogurt non-fat has 80 calories per serving. I use half of that. It provides 15 grams of protein. I use half of that and just say it's either 7 or 8 grams. 15% of the calcium. The Sargento pepper jack cheese. This particular package is 18 slices. They also sell it in smaller packages, I do believe. It has 70 calories per slice, 4 grams of protein per slice, 15% of the calcium per slice, and it's not going to have any iron in it or vitamin C. But adding these 2 things to my turkey chili give me quite a bit of calcium. When you buy the dry beans, you just have to wash them and sort through them to make sure that there's no little rocks or pebbles. I hardly find anything in there that doesn't need to be in there. So I would wash them that way. I rinse them in the colander, and once they're clean, I put them back in this bowl full of water, cover it up with water about that much, put a lid on it, let it sit overnight, and then they're ready to go in the morning. The beans have been washed and sorted and rinsed, and now they're covered in warm water. Put the lid on them, and in the morning they'll be all hydrated and ready to add to the chili. I went ahead and drained the water off of the beans and put it into the crock pot, and I'm going to get it going on high. I have the electric skillet set on about 375 degrees, and I'm cooking the ground turkey. I'll cook both packs this way. I'll cook mine pretty brown. Wash your vegetables off, at the very least rinse them off. We don't know what's been sprayed on them or who's been handling them. A little trick that I learned the hard way is to cut my peppers up first and then cut up my tomatoes. The acid from the tomatoes helps to remove some of the sting off of my fingers Otherwise, when I go to put my contact lens in this afternoon, I will be reminded that I cut up jalapeno peppers earlier this morning. Just cut the ends off the peppers, deseed them, and cut them up in the size that you want them to be. I'm using 7 peppers because I want this to be pretty spicy. You can use as few or as many as you like. I add the chili powder to my meat because I think the meat soaks it up a little bit better. Since I already have 1 packet of meat in here, I'm going to sprinkle 1/4 of a cup, actually it's a heaping. You could use about 3 tablespoons of the chili seasoning and about 1 tablespoon of salt if you want to add salt. I don't add salt to mine because I never know who's going to be eating it, and it's always easier to add salt when you're eating it than it is to take it out. I stir this up and I'll move on to preparing the tomatoes and the second batch of turkey.
The 10 tomatoes look to be about 6 cups of chopped tomatoes.
Finishing up the second package of turkey and gonna add it to this chili. This is what the beans, 1 pack of the turkey, the jalapeno peppers, and then 1/4 a cup of chili powder looks like, all mixed up in the crock pot. Already looking pretty good. That is a big beautiful pile of jalapeno peppers for me. I'm going to add that to the beans. My first batch of turkey has cooked. Now I'm on to cooking the second batch of turkey and cutting up the tomatoes. This has been cooking on high for about 4 hours. Looks pretty good. This is what the super protein chili looks like after cooking about 10 or 11 hours on high. I was home all day and just wanted to see what would happen if I cooked it for a long time. Technically it was ready like after 4 hours on high, but I was here to stir it to keep it from sticking to the side and was really just testing to see what would happen if I cooked it for a long time. It's not thick because I didn't put any kind of thickener like flour or cornstarch or anything in there. That just adds calories that I don't need. So like I said, I was testing it to see if it would thicken up just by cooking it longer. I know that as it cools and as it stays in the freezer ready for me, it's going to get thicker because it just always does. I think the starch in the beans, you know, it keeps breaking down and it does get it thicker than that. But I'm going to have a bowl right now as is. Here's to break down the nutritional value. I just put the turkey on there twice since I used twice as much. I totaled everything up according to calories, protein, calcium, and iron, divided by 10 because I anticipated a yield of 10. Got my numbers, and I only put the calories and the grams of protein on my labels. Prepared those. I ended up with 10 containers. So my yield for the super protein chili is 10 containers. There's 665 calories each, 56 grams of protein as frozen. Let's look at the finished product. As I said, mine's not going to be thick because I didn't add any thickeners in there. If I cooked it a little bit longer, it probably would be. I added 1 piece of pepper jack cheese and a half a container of Chobani's on top. The pepper jack cheese is going to add 70 calories and 4 grams of protein, and the yogurt is going to add 40 calories and 8 grams of protein. It's yummy. Thank you for watching my video about the turkey chili. Feel free to try it. Leave your comments below. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, share the video if appropriate. And until next time, take care.